Opportunity for those who wish to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Maureen?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll call the work agenda of the Budget Committee to order at 6:05. First order of business would just to be do a quorum call from my left.
Mike Blue?
Maureen Steer.
Thomas McDougall.
Bob Carey.
Larry Brown.
Lou Snyder.
Stan Nato.
Dennis Wang.
And Caitlin has an excused absence. And as I do not have, here we have, the, as Caitlin will not be here, there are two things which will be off this evening's agenda, which would be the materials that she had prepared for the our own policy document and the discussion regarding the measurements, what she calls the metrics of how to review town expenses to see on a quick visual chart which one is above the others for its kind, and whether or not that is an important or just an accident of the month. I'm sure we'll take that up next month. Is there, that would bring us to number 3, which is any public input? No public present at the moment. Item 4, minutes review and approval of September 20th minutes. Any motion, and from that, any comment? Tom, did I hear you grumble in your throat?
No, that's me hacking cough every time.
Maureen?
I'll move to, because we're going to have discussion, but accept the minutes with the required
Okay.
corrections.
Open for discussion. Stan, you seconded?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion on the minutes of September 20th.
I
Maureen?
have just a point to clarify, because these are extraordinarily well done, Bob, as always. I think I often think of sitting down to read minutes like I had not been here, and it should flow so that whoever was not here could read them. And I think it's just a simple little thing, but I think if someone is, like, you have halfway down through
What
the
page
first
is that, Maureen?
page. First page, halfway down, it says Tom McDougall.
Yeah.
If, after the name, could we just put like a dash? Just to, because there's a couple places in here where I had to stop,
Oh,
like Lou Snyder. I
Dash.
think 6th line up from the bottom.
Yeah.
Lou Snyder, special ed will stay there. It just looks like one statement.
mhm.
So,
Okay.
So,
If-
did I get a special one?
right. So just
You can do that.
Something noted
Just
as
so-
a question
so
rather
we
than a
can
statement.
either a colon or a dash or something that just says this is who's speaking, and then
Okay.
the line.
Right.
You
Yes.
can do that.
Just-
And Stan's point, the difference between the world is ending and is the world ending? One statement, one question. Do we use a double dash for the town representative?
I'm the only Mike here, so.
Oh, okay. Do your eyes hurt?
No,
Oh,
itchy.
Just
Hours and hours of reading.
Then, is there any other discussion on that? I would suggest then that when the clerk retypes, he can just put in the little dashes to indicate who is speaking.
you can do that. Yes.
Yeah.
You can do
I
that.
noticed on page 2 under scheduling, Bob, that you already have like colons.
Where? Yes, I
under-
started it. I never finished it.
So that would be perfect, because that clarifies what's going on.
Mhm.
Maybe it's
Okay.
I gotta
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion? Dennis?
No, I'm good.
There's only one.
Lou? Bob?
This one, I'm trying to find it. Okay, that's on the first page, school report where it says Lou Snyder, right down below, it says special ed. Special ed would stay there. And then I think there were only 9 kids in the house. And I think they were moved to the high school. Should I just strike out? Well, maybe it still fits anyway.
No, the special ed coordinator or whatever she's gonna become will stay in that building, in her office, Bob, so that's perfectly fine.
Okay,
So it would be, the special ed coordinator will stay there. The 9 kids in the house for special ed
Well, it
Well,
kinda really says
will
that.
go.
There were only
Yeah.
9 kids in the house for special ed.
Yep.
That can be taken into the high school, no problem.
okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
more clear then.
Then, we have motion to approve, end of discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Okay, then, now the easy stuff. The,
We have the old business.
Well, yeah, let's do old business first. And Heather is not here, and we already took care of points B and C on the measurements and the bylaws, B, C and D, and that takes us to old business under A. Town administrator to explain how revenues are relative to past and current budgets. And I think I remember that if, just to use artificial numbers, if every year we have $1 million and our taxes come in, so we have $750,000 in by March, and we have $900,000 in by September. Is that how we usually expect things? Are revenues noticeably different from what Caitlin would love to talk about, which would be the average measurement and anything peculiar over time? So
Sometimes it's usually close, but it irons out pretty good. The biggest check, of course, you know, is the school.
Yeah.
Those are right around $500,000. So depending on when that goes out and when the revenues come in.
Okay, so for the general point under old business A would be that the town is satisfied with the revenues that are coming in for the needs
Correct.
of the 2016 year as it is starting to end.
Correct.
Okay. Then, that would take us to new business for both a town budget discussion, which is really getting to our work for next month, and for the town and the school. May I start then with town, and then I think Bob will have good stuff to say on this for where you, that is selectmen in general and the town administrator, stand for bringing preliminary budgets to the budget committee for review. Dates, any idea?
We had talked about briefly last night, where we at, and it looks like it's gonna be we should have a good handle on it in the next 2 weeks.
So, this is the 18th, so
Yes.
by November 1st.
Yeah,
So if
Some of the budgets have already trickled in, not all of them.
And so, Dennis, I don't know if you have been looking, but every year, the budget process with the town starts out with an overview from the department heads explaining what their major expenses are, what they have done to control costs, and how they see their part of the budget fitting into the total expenses of the town. Mike?
This year, they're gonna do a full budget review as well, not just doing the changes like they've done in the past. Every department is doing full budget review.
What does that mean for us?
A lot more work. Everyone.
Longer hours.
Everyone. Yeah, every line,
That
yes.
is,
Yeah, I like that.
when
Good,
they
thank
come, when
you.
they come in, they are going to be prepared and expecting to
Presentations,
discuss,
PowerPoint presentations, yeah.
eight new tires for the dump trucks.
Yep.
20 tons of salt.
Yep.
10 new batteries for the mobile phones.
WD-40, everything, yep.
Mhm, okay. And Lou, I will put the same question to you for the work. This being a somewhat different year, I know from what I've heard that you guys have worked very hard to get the central office operating expenses below what our share has been for the combined district. That's when you say yes.
Yeah, but it's gonna be close because it's the default budget. So, there is a lot of savings, but it's not gonna show, because I think we got it around 390 versus 410.
Yeah. And then,
And we're consolidating a lot.
Learning to live within your means, yep.
Well, you're talking about the school, they don't live in the real world. I'm already having a problem
Yeah.
with some of the board members, yes.
Just so it said, this year is the first year that I think I can remember that the school had a default budget.
It's been a long time since they
Yeah.
had a
It's an
default.
eye-opener.
Well, not to them it isn't, but anyway, we got new administrators and it's very hard to, tell them. We've been having a lot of meetings, small groups.
Hey.
yeah. So, Bob,
Somehow or another, we were breezing right through this thing, and what did the town say? I thought there was gonna be a little more explanation.
Yeah, I will.
Something-
Yeah, I
have
hadn't
you
been
gone
asked
through
yet.
that yet?
Talking about the discrepancy with the percentage?
what?
No, what it is,
well,
I'm,
that
we were talking about a schedule,
Well-
and I'm kind of,
I'm working on three things. One, where the town is in terms of being able to come to the budget committee for the discussions with the budget committee.
Right.
Same question to the school board, where the school board is and the new administrator coming to the budget committee for discussion based on two things: the regular operating budget for the Milton School District, apart from Wakefield, and the new costs for the standalone central administration, which will be housed in the Damon House. So that's the background. The next thing.
See, I'm sorry, Larry, I don't understand what you're trying to get at, because it'll be a standalone, everything is just Milton in the new budget.
Right, that is what I just said. We have the operating budget for the Milton School District, and we have the changed operating costs for the standalone central administration,
Well,
the SAU 64 administration.
right.
And to answer Bob's question, we don't have those figures. We don't have those figures from the town. What Bob has worked on is to get dates for our own schedules in terms of our Tuesday. You know, our one Tuesday is the second Tuesday of the month. That is not going to be enough to discuss the budgets. So in the packet that you have here, Bob has some papers. This is the one that is in red, white, and blue.
Mr. Chairman?
Larry, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You just said the second Tuesday, isn't it the third Tuesday?
What is this the third?
Third Tuesday.
I'm sorry, when the first day of the month doesn't come on the right day, I lose it. I lose a Tuesday. The chair sits corrected.
There's 2 pages,
But-
last year's in here as well.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So this is the budget committee budget schedule for 2016, and here we are
That's the one.
on October,
That's
and
because he's got
we
everything
have-
else encumbered.
the regular meeting is 6 p.m. and in November we have in red town budget presentation Tuesday, November 15th, with possible dates of Tuesday the 22nd and Tuesday the 29th. So the question for the town is, with these dates in use for us, what does the town see as its presentations? Since you're doing a,
Excuse me for a minute, Mr. Chairman. I just happened to hear Stan and Lou say something about encumbered.
Yeah, we're kind of bouncing all over the place here.
Yeah,
well,
I'd rather, why don't you just finish that schedule, because what
But-
you see for dates there is pretty much set in stone except for the town.
On the schedule here, you know that the February 5th is Super Bowl Sunday, right?
February 4th.
5th.
I got the 5th in there?
I think it's supposed to be a
Well,
rain
that's a
date.
snow date.
Yeah.
Snow date.
Oh, it's a snow date,
Yeah.
yeah, because,
that naturally I would not want to suggest that the work of the town and our tax money would be more important than the Super Bowl. Would I?
No, you wouldn't.
That,
But if we're being real
So-
about it being a public session, I think it would,
the
Might cut
This-
down the public
the
input.
the statutory obligation is to have
Okay, see.
the deliberative.
right.
I'm sorry, am I bothering?
No,
Yeah.
That,
no, I'm listening.
When
okay.
you get to your date, just let us know.
That- We'll see how the microphone picks up. These are the dates. The school budget discussion is set in blue. So when you look at this with the board members, you can just keep in mind. So that is the general background for the next point, which is item discussions for both the town budget and for the school district budget on current issues. And I see an orange magic marker. What's your question?
Okay, so this is the dates we're gonna go with.
Those are the dates that are presently cast in sand.
with the exception.
So we spent 20 minutes discussing dates, that you said that's what we have. Okay,
Excuse me.
so, anyway,
The meeting has been 20 minutes long. I don't think everything has been a discussion of those dates.
to answer your
Do you
question
wish to
about
pick
the
better
orange,
dates yourself?
no?
Okay, just checking.
Are we going to the town, or are we going to the
I'm giving
school?
you, since you were talking through the presentation, and it's important to you to bring it up now.
Well, I still think we have a huge discrepancy on the town.
Define huge.
We're at 38.312% used, and we're in the 10th month of the year.
That's the last page. It's 60% 127 used. That's just the, I'm sorry.
Says grand total out of a $7,553,756 net budget, and it says 38.31%, 312% used.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not,
Well,
that's wrong.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Being in the 10th month of the year,
yep. No,
I
I
mean-
I see, it, yeah.
I think you will
I
find.
think this document's all, is,
If you go back to what the police chief said, which you can check on the video, regarding the difference between the inclusion of warrant articles and the introduction of two important things. One, that the town administrator has now been hired. Secondly, that the town garage has been short 2 to 3 employees. And thirdly, that for 3 months, the police department itself was down one person. If, I think, as you were starting to say, you add this percentage to the warrant articles percentage, you will come out to the 60% that you had mentioned earlier. I think if you have a specific question,
I don't
on
think
line
that's,
item-
I don't think that's our job to do that, Larry. I think we go by a document that's handed to us that shows what's been, the budget is, what the monthly is, the yearly, and what the town has left to spend. I don't think we should have, right now, I think they should be doing encumbrances. You know, at the 10th month, I think this should have encumbrances on it. All these lines should be filled
because
in.
we're, quite frankly, we're not looking at, me and another side, we're not looking at doing any encumbrances.
We have to. Payroll, we have to know what the encumbrances is. so
Only those that have
Well,
needed.
insurances, payroll, fuel, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that has to be encumbered.
Right, and then usually in the last quarter, as you know, Stan, is usually the month that, the quarter that most of the budget is consumed, holding off till the end of the year, into the fourth quarter.
Well, there's certain things that we know have to be paid. There's no way
Yeah,
around it.
exactly, yes.
All right, the warrant article money, anything that's in other lines that we know have to be paid, those should be encumbered.
Yeah.
So we can see a better handle of
Correct,
what
what
the
I'm
real
saying
number
is,
is.
we're looking at the encumbrances, and in the past years, the town has encumbered in some things that maybe we want to relook at them this year.
Oh.
The ones that have to be paid, your heating, your fuels, that all has to be paid.
Right, now it should be encumbered. The electric bill, whatever, it has to be
Right.
paid.
Yep,
So, but, you know, even if you add in the few things that the chairman just mentioned, we should be about 75%, you know, not 38%, as this says.
correct, yeah, that's wrong. It should be closer to 60%. It's still a good year, and the reason why it is even higher than that, okay? We had also employment that was not met. For example, like the TA position, highway had absence of employees, the police, et cetera, all the departments.
All right, well, without getting the real numbers,
So the question that you can ask in return is, can you bring to mind a year in which the town, either with or without its town administrator, did not, in the last 3 months of the year, make those encumbrances which were necessary to bill out the costs? So are you suggesting that they are inattentive, sloppy, or fraudulent?
I'm saying they're not correct.
No, I know, yeah,
That,
yeah.
I don't know
They're
what
not.
the reasoning why they're not correct. I'm saying that they're not correct. I'm not gonna start calling names, as you just mentioned, without having proof. So I'm just saying they're incorrect.
Correct. He's correct.
okay, so my presumption is that next month, with more time under her belt, the town administrator, from her experience in Ashland and other venues, will be looking at those encumbrances which are useful as a matter of record over time for the town.
Yes.
Okay.
And if I may also add, it may be useful to have another document, whereas we know the reasoning of certain things that weren't used, to have a document to just give us a little, okay, this, we didn't have a TA for X amount of time, this would have represented X amount of money. And just get a grand total so that we can do our simple math and say, if everything would have gone as we thought with the budget from day one, we would have been at this point right now.
If I may, I believe Mr. Brown brought that up in the last two meetings, though, when we were discussing the graphics, the visual graphics, that part of the data visualization was to be able to put notations in to state the anomalies.
But we're not using that yet, so.
No, I know,
you
I'm just saying, but this is being addressed, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so the present end game for that would be percentages do not represent actual.
They're not accurate, correct?
Do not represent actual totals. And the question.
Well, each department may be accurate,
Yeah.
but I believe that he's talking about the
The overall.
The overall total budget is not accurate.
No.
It's not 38.
That it would be useful so that next time around, the town administrator can add the categories in as Stan is asking. So that the percentage from the warrant articles and the percentage from what I would call regular operating expenses add up against the total budget. And so that'll give a more accurate percentage.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
for
in
the-
here.
Against
The-
against the total. Okay.
It's just the grand total that's the number's
Is,
wrong. Each department, I think, is pretty close to accurate, including the warrant articles.
That we have the expenditure, Tom,
I think this part of the discrepancy is, if you look at the warrant articles, there's a big $3 million chunk that hasn't been allocated. And I think if you add that in, you end up with something like 77%.
So that's basically what I'm saying, encumbrances.
So
That would
I
have to
think-
be
I think-
encumbered.
I think that's why you're seeing that, and I mentioned this, I believe, the last meeting.
You did.
That,
Mhm.
hey, look like we're really good, hey, yeah, we're actually not as good as what it may look because of that.
Right.
So,
But even in October, even 77%
yeah, yeah,
77%
yeah,
is
it's not
still
to
a
say we're
good
not good.
figure.
but that's where the discrepancy is.
Yeah.
Or that is part of the reason for the discrepancy in the bottom line number. Or the reason for raising the eyebrows at the bottom line number. It's really not a discrepancy, it is what the number is right now based on
Lou,
this data.
thank you. I did not cut you off. You finished?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Lou, did I see your hand?
Yes, you did. I
Okay.
just have a quick question. Where is the cost for the firehouse bond?
I think it's in it's in
But I don't see a total here. I only see $6,000.
yeah, it's in the warrant articles,
Debt service, that may be correct, because you're still under the construction phase of it.
right?
But shouldn't there be a total of what it's going to cost somewhere, like net budget? You know
Well,
what I'm
It
saying?
should be whatever the warrant article was.
Instead of just the monthly 6,000, or, if it's this year's 6,000, but shouldn't we and the taxpayers know what
Every
the
year,
actual bond is?
You totally mean?
Yes.
Yeah, the 2.7,
Okay.
yeah.
But
But
Is
that
it
would-
$270,000 for the bond?
Yeah. No, every year, it's 249,
I know, but how much was the
2.5 million,
Huh?
2.5 million.
For just the bond interest?
No, not just the bond issue, this is the whole thing, yeah.
The-
It's $900,000 in interest.
I thought it was gonna be lower than that.
I believe that's what it is.
I thought that's what, it started out at 930 something.
We had gone back and forth with a few different financial agencies. This is for 16 years.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, didn't it go to from like 9 to 6 or something to that effect?
yeah, that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's-
Yes.
Could you find out about
Yeah,
that,
I can-
please,
yeah.
and
All right, sure. I'll
have
bring
a
that.
total,
The
put
fire department
like,
bond brought to the table.
I mean, it says net budget, so,
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I'm
know,
just
coming into the
looking-
budget season 2, Nick's gonna be presenting all that information.
No, well, please.
What?
That was not presented really well last year, even for the warrant article, Mike. It
Right.
really wasn't.
But this year we have hard numbers, so he's gonna present that.
Well, I still would like
If you
to.
look under warrant articles, Lou, I think you're gonna find what you want. It's 3,000,000.
Right, that's the
30,000.
cost of the firehouse.
Right. The bond.
No, well, I'm looking for the interest on the bond.
I don't think you'll find it broken out in this budget.
No.
Well, I don't know why it's been signed now, so we know what it's gonna be.
Right, but I don't think
If the
you'll find,
firehouse
I don't
wants,
think it's gonna be separated in the budget. No differently than the debt service of the dump trucks and stuff. I don't think you're gonna see
Well-
the,
Right.
in this particular budget.
in the new budget then, I wanna see it somewhere in the debt.
As you see right here, it says debt service principal on the trucks, and then this says debt service interest on the trucks. Once this and you sign that bond, and it's done, the construction phase is done, then that will no longer be a warrant article, it will move up to be split up like that. But as far as a warrant article, you're not gonna see it split up.
That-
No, I just think it's not fair to the people.
that-
It's like the difference
It's-
between a construction loan versus a mortgage.
Yes, yes, thank
Well,
you.
I guess I don't understand that, Dennis, because,
Right.
you know, it's gonna be so close now. I talked to Nick the other night, and he said it's really close to being finished now.
Until, what, I don't know if the mic picked it up, but what Dennis just said, it's the difference between a construction loan and a mortgage loan. Right now, I thought I had a conversation in one of the selectmen's meeting with Nick, and I said, what's the fire insurance, what in fire insurance, what in other insurance are we carrying on that building now? And he said that right now, it is a cost to the construction company. And that's what Stan said. Someone who wants to find out what the voters approved for the fire station can find it in the.
So we'll have that at the next meeting. I
No
mean,
problem, no problem.
if I thought we would have needed it here for this meeting, I would have brought it.
Yeah, no, I just was
Yeah, so I'll put it
looking,
on,
you know.
I'm making notes right here, so that what you people want for the next meeting, I'll bring to the meeting.
May I ask for what I don't remember, and that is, I think, Dennis, you have an ear for number, the final interest cost for that loan is down very little over 3%.
It's
If
2.9.
if it did not drop under.
Yeah, 2.9, I think it is.
2.97?
Without
Yeah.
the hard facts here, I
Right,
have a hard
right.
time
No,
deciding.
I
Yeah.
was just, why is
Fire
it
station
say
bond
6,000 without a total,
Because-
you
Yep,
know?
yep.
Well, that 6,000 isn't for that bond. That 6,000 is for the anticipated TANs. If they had to take a TANs, that's what the interest would be on
Oh,
the
okay,
TANs.
so I'm totally off the wall. Sorry, everybody.
No, you're,
What's that?
I will come to your defense and disagree with you. That the question about the cost of the firehouse is a good one. It is going to be expensive.
Yeah, that's
With
the
Pam
total amount.
Arnold's
I thought it was
help,
2.7,
with
yeah.
the bond council, and with Nick hammering away,
Right.
for the size of our community, we have an extraordinarily low 2.9, possibly 2.97 interest rate. That's remarkable.
Correct.
For these times.
Correct.
And don't forget that part. On any other details of the town budget, since you have been looking at that most, that you would like to bring up? Dennis, did you have one?
No, I don't.
Okay. Stan, did you have another one? And Tom?
And you might actually be able to speak to this, Mary. Where'd it go? The library. Seemed there were what was it? There's several lines that look like there's I almost feel silly, we've got a $7 million budget, and I'm asking about a budget that's 49,000, but there's several lines that are significantly over what they were budgeted for. I wonder what happened, what's happened at the library to cause that?
Okay, what page are we on?
12.
12.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Never mind. It was recreation was the line that I was looking at, but it seemed to have several numbers that were. Scratch what I said. I think I'm looking at the wrong column. It's been a long day. I apologize.
Okay.
I seem to be missing every other page.
No,
It's in the back.
That's in the back, you
Oh,
can put it
okay.
together.
That, Mike, for the recreation department, do I remember correctly that September and part of October are when Karen has to do what I will call her massive reconciliations for the expenses that she actually got hit with for staff and income for the summer?
I can't answer that question.
Okay, I withdraw it. But for the library, I can answer the question you didn't have, which is Betsy has been very good about gauging her expenses so that her primary critical function, which is having books, media, computer access for the library patrons, is still available to draw on that when the year is winding down, and also to try to pull back if the complete town budget needs help. And she has been very good on that. And I'm sure Karen would give you the same kind of answer. Another question on either of the budgets, current or what concerns you have for things you were hearing, quote, on the street. Stan?
Well, I never personally found out what the town was gonna get back out of the 2015-16 budget. Was that ever determined? Lou, what the town was gonna see back from the school?
As far as I know, that's coming up.
It hasn't been determined yet.
No.
Mhm.
Okay, any idea?
No,
No? All right, I don't wanna put you,
I ain't putting my foot in my mouth. I mean, I do that enough on my own, don't I?
I was gonna say, really, you're not gonna? All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I do it enough, I know.
Ms. Snyder is a school
Other than that, I mean, let's go back to the amount remaining on their budget. And
So we're jumping to the school.
Well,
I thought you said you need a budget, so.
for
He
the
did.
for the chair does not have a lock-stop agenda. And the questions that are coming up, we have enough time here and enough ability to pick up one different piece of paper to answer a question without standing on the ceremony of having a complete discussion on either topic. Stan?
Are you going to the school budget right now? Is that what you're
I
doing?
believe so.
Yep.
Could I just mention two more things?
Yes.
So, again, the WEX program is working out. We're up to $10,000 now in savings.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Speak into the microphone. That
It's right there. Yeah.
Show me
So-
savings at the end of the budget, you know.
So,
Helpful.
the other thing is, it's good news. We've hired another recording clerk. And
Oh.
she is interested, this one is interested in doing both the committees. And she couldn't make it to last night's meeting on this one, and she has an appointment in, I think it's New Jersey, something to that affair,
Mm.
that will be here for the next BOS meeting.
Okay.
Bob's getting fired.
No, he does a wonderful job.
That-
No, I'm not gonna count on it. Every time
Yeah,
that
I know.
happens.
Getting your hopes up?
Yeah. No, it was a disaster,
That,
that other one. was a disaster.
Yeah, and if people haven't followed the selectmen meetings and other things, it has been really difficult to get a clear record of the work of the selectmen and introduce a new town administrator to the process and the events that have happened over the last several months.
So the board has offered to work with her on this as well, because she's brand new to it. Even though she has a long history of putting together stuff now, but when I'm saying brand new to Milton.
Mhm. Okay. And then Matt, if you have anything else?
I'm done, thank you.
Okay,
Chairman.
then, back to you.
All right, well, if I'm reading the school report correctly, when was this printed? You know, Lou?
It should have been,
This week?
this is the one that we
October
just
5th.
approved last Wednesday.
October 5th.
Oh, down
is
bottom,
the
okay.
bottom.
Which one are they?
If I'm
Not the
reading this
grant,
correctly,
looking at
after all
the
encumbrances,
expenses?
there's just like $963,000 left. Am I correct?
I don't think so. Because we're not even halfway yet.
Well, that's with encumbrances in there. What I'm getting at.
Oh, that's for the new year. New year? This year?
The
Whoops.
2016-17 year.
Hang on.
Okay. Where did I put that?
I'm on page 20 of 21.
Okay.
Oh, you want, yeah, 20 of 21, you're on the last page, right, Stan?
Well, next to last. And where it says total 100 general fund, and if you go all the way over, it says total actual encumbrances. So everything included, that they know they have to pay out, is $8,141,437 and change, which leaves $963,263 and 51 cents.
Yeah, but that's not encumbered money.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what's
See, $8
left
million in here
to spend
anyway.
for anything that's not already known
Encumbered.
about.
Well, he doesn't always encumber the way we would like him to, so please don't count on $1 million being left over.
I wasn't, but I will if you want me to.
No, don't. He does not encumber,
Well, my question was, but if I was making sure I was reading this correctly, that at this point on, October of 2016, that's what the numbers are looking like, and that this one is not in error.
the current period looks like 800,000
Mhm.
spent. Because we just started in July,
Correct.
July 1.
Right, we're not even
So
6 months into this.
August and September and part of October. So
Right.
that's, the 800 sounds more right for right now.
Okay, I'm just making sure that we don't have the same issue as the town report with it wrong, you know what I mean? So you're feeling pretty comfortable with these numbers are correct, is what I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe the total reporting period is 1,900,000.
So 2 million.
But I'm saying
Oh, yeah.
it's not the end numbers.
Well, so the
Okay.
the numbers that are used add up correctly. The question that or point that Lou was going toward is that Superintendent Sussman may not use the same encumbering criteria that were used in 2015, 2016.
That's not up to him, that is up to RBA.
Okay, then are you saying that Nathan has changed the labels, or that he prefers to hold
I
all?
think he holds
He
off
holds.
in what is encumbered. In
Uh-huh.
fact, we've
Okay.
had that conversation, and
Okay.
he just does not always encumber everything
Uh-huh.
that we may feel he should,
Okay.
okay?
Right, got it. Okay. But the money is there to be used. If there's $10 of legal expense left, there is still $10 in the budget to cover that $10. Okay. That, Bob, you have been quiet. What is on your mind of things?
Just one that I was still waiting for, and it was on the for the last month, what is the final revenue and the expense for the last year? I have a number here, but Nathan said that that's not gonna be the final number until the DOE-25 form is complete.
Yeah, and that's not completed yet.
So we're still, we don't, the last number that I've gotten was $246,242.24. That was the last report that I got.
Mhm.
He sent two after that, but then he sent me an email that he won't know the final
Right,
numbers.
because they're,
Revenues is still coming in, and so is the expense. for
well,
the-
yeah, bills are coming in
Yeah, for the.
later, so,
Okay. Well, I
yeah.
just wanted to know if he.
I wish I could tell you, Bob, but until that's
Yeah,
done,
well-
I can't.
He's waiting for that too, probably. I know he
Mhm.
didn't forget.
Yeah, no, and, you know, he would have mentioned it today because I was in the
Okay,
office.
now,
And if you want, I'm going over there anyway,
Yeah.
Friday,
okay.
and I will see if he's got a final number yet, and if he does, I'll have him email it to you. Is
Now-
that good?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Well, we email to the,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but
No, that,
emailing it to
Uh,
you is,
more,
the only thing is that before the warrant articles have been taken out?
you know, I would think yes, but
Cause you,
no?
no, cause you have a legal bind. DOR demands you pay, like the town has to pay the warrant articles by December 15th.
Yes,
You have to pay yours by,
December.
no, cause you're not on a calendar year like the town, you're on
I know,
mean,
but
a fiscal year. So you're gonna have to, I think yours is middle of June, you have to have yours in, something like that.
No,
You
it
Go back and
isn't.
check. I
no, it
can't-
is not. I
I'm not
can
gonna
tell
bet-
you that,
It's not
because
December.
Marion told me.
It's not December.
It's never paid until like October or November.
that,
I'm sorry, but I have checked on that.
that, oh,
It is not in there yet because we want to check on the maintenance and repair fund. And I just asked Nathan if the 25,000 from the warrant article has gone into the maintenance and repair fund. And he said, no, not yet. So, and Marion Trafton herself told me
Okay, well,
that it's never paid until either October or November. It has to be in by December
are
like
you talking
yours.
about the 2015-16 or 16-17?
16, 17
Okay, well, I'm
is
talking
not.
about, well, we're talking about the end of the books for,
I know
Six-
you are,
15,
and I'm
16.
telling you,
Wait.
that is what I am
that
telling you.
the tape recorder is gagging for air with this, that, at some date, Nathan is going to do all of the detailed work to get the final number that is available as a give back to the town.
Mhm.
And the DOE Form 25, that's a state DOE?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. DOE, State Department of Education, and that Form 25 is, I take it, the final reconciliation,
Mhm.
form for money spent and what should be available as a, quote, give back to the town taxpayers.
Right.
Okay, that,
but as of today, that 25,000 warrant article that was passed last March has not been paid into that fund as of yet.
correct, because that would have been the 2016-17 year. That's the budget that the people voted on last March, was the 16-17 year.
if all else fails, we can read the warrant article. On a smaller point, there was for that wonderful underground storage tank, have all the funds for the school district, which was found in a review of Classic Newt, have all funds come in so that has been taken care of?
I believe it has.
Good.
It was
Okay.
like 10,000. I
Yes.
believe we had a hearing or a meeting on
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
It did cost more because we had to get rid of the dirt around it.
oh, yes.
And there was a pile of contaminated dirt outside the school for a little while because you have to have special people come take care of it.
Bob?
Still, I'm looking at that schedule. First one is, there's a public hearing coming up the 26th.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be held here.
Uh,
I think there was
Not
a,
according to the paper.
I thought it
Yeah,
was the 27th. I thought it was going to be on our budget because of the way it had to go into the paper.
yeah, because what it is, that's that building fund that you're taking out for the.
The
David House.
20,000 for, I'll tell you guys right now, the state has found there's a sump pump hole, and it's an oil sump hole, okay? There's really no pump in it that I can see. I don't understand it all that well. I'm sorry, I'm a lady. But it's a hole, and it all is starting to rust, even though it's not that old. Bob said some of it was made out of steel and not aluminum or whatever doesn't rust. And he's got a quote, one quote has come in for 18,000 some odd dollars. And
To replace it.
yes, and the state is after us, so we really have to act diligently on it. So what we're gonna do is do that hearing for up to 20,000. Then if he gets any other bids like lower, we can just not take the extra money. But it was almost 19,000, I think, but just to be diligent, he's
But I think-
writing it for up to 20.
But I think Bob's question was, I read it in the paper today, and it was
Mhm.
being at the school, the meeting. And Bob was asking about why isn't it here? Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, that.
Well, because we needed the extra day, because when you post something in the paper, there has to be so many days for the hearing. And legally, it was not the 26th, it was
I might
legally
have
the
it wrong. I know it's
27th.
one of those two, but why not here? It looks
Because
like,
that, we're having the budget workshop up there.
and you're also not gonna have the public, gee, you're not gonna have it televised. You're gonna be here, going over the budget with us. It's all gonna be down at the,
But that's at a later time, that's not
yeah,
on
but
the
there's-
27th.
no, what it is, further down the scheduling, I should have been real clear. When I was looking at your schedule, all the scheduling, everything's out and done at the Newt. There'll be nothing televised.
I know, I didn't understand that myself, Bob. I had no control over that. I thought that was
Well, I find it kind of odd because
the
I,
chair, and
And the,
I did too, but they said they
Okay.
were having it up there.
in that wonderful phrase from the 60s or the 70s, whenever you heard it, not my job. I am not, neither before, now, nor probably in the future, the person who is going to hammer people into submission for when they will have their own meetings. What I tried to do, and what Stan talked about in terms of this piece of paper and our nominal first 20 minutes, was to bring some order to this for who is doing what, so the public has access, so that it is timely, so that it does not run this budget committee ragged to meet other people's schedules. The 27th happens to be a ZBA meeting, which is here in this room. So that is one explanation.
And there is a meeting with an issue that has to be discussed, so that couldn't be postponed.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
But I didn't set any of the dates, Bob.
I just kind of remember
Yeah.
probably the 26th because that's on a Wednesday and usually that's a standard.
Right, but because he said the way he had to post it in the paper, there's a
Okay.
legality of so many days, so I said, why couldn't we piggyback it on the budget meeting?
Okay.
Are there,
So you're all invited to come to the hearing.
thank you. Will there
And so are you out there.
Okay. That, since there may not be, so there will be public hearing. If you look at Foster's this evening, that's the announcement for the public hearing for the expenses of the school district, which will be held in the new community room cafeteria or the
I'm not sure. I think
Yeah.
probably the community room.
At the new community room, which is the cafeteria, or is the
No,
library?
that's
Which
near
is
the library.
the library community room on the 27th
At 6 o'clock.
at 6 o'clock. Okay. Rest of things for this
It's on a
this
Sunday?
evening. Hmm?
It's on a Sunday?
Thursday, next Thursday.
27th, I don't think I misspoke.
Oh, wrong month.
Okay, that'll do it.
Every
Um,
time. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
then let's go back to the agenda, which is, we have pretty much worked through the old business. We have a couple of explanations from Lou on expenses the school district is facing. We're going to get clarity on what the final number is for any possible return of funds to the town taxpayers when the school budget is closed out. The town is going to be checking to get better percentages for our actual budgets, including the warrant articles' impact. The town is going to get the statement of the firehouse costs in a discussion format that gives people the big picture for what it costs, what the interest rate is, and how it's coming along. The fire chief will also be presenting that information at budget committee discussions when the town presents its budget. Does that summarize everything that we have done? It is 7 o'clock. It's still 2 hours before bedtime for early birds. Is
1 hour.
what? Oh Lord! Is there anything that has come up that I didn't address enough, or that you were thinking of at the moment that you want to bring up? Dennis.
I have a question, concern, comment, how you want to call it. I'm not really sure if it's budget committee related so much as selecting, but it does have effect on the budgets. So my question is, regarding RSA 31:95-E, which is the acceptance of personal property donated to towns and villages. And my question is, I haven't been paying attention quite as much as I probably should have, but with all this donated volunteer gift contribution activity that's going on in regards to certain projects in the town, I'm wondering if the town and the Board of Selectmen are complying with this particular RSA, which is Section 2, prior to acceptance, a gift worth $5,000 or more value, Board of Selectmen shall hold public hearing. Less than $5,000, Board of Selectmen shall post notice of the gift in the agenda and shall make note of it in the minutes of the BOS meeting at which the gift was discussed, and acceptance of gifts shall be made in public session. And in Section 3 is no acceptance of personal property shall be deemed to bind the town to raise, appropriate, expend funds for operation, maintenance, repair, replacement of such personal property. So I guess what my question is, with all the various volunteer donating contributions of supplies, materials, and labor, if this has actually been vetted properly through the Board of Selectmen through either public hearing or through meeting agendas. And if not, I would like to encourage them to do so. Because I feel if you do not do this, we're going to have a heck of a time accounting for $100,000 worth of material when you only have $30,000 listed on the books that's actually expended.
Can you be more specific? You have to be more specific.
Specific in what way?
Or what are the projects we're talking about?
Well, like I said, I haven't been paying attention as well as I should be the last month or so because I'm quite busy, but I just know that there's a lot of volunteer work going on, a lot of business contributions going on, which is fine. I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. But if they're not being, as the law states, if it's valued over $4,000, if there's not being a public hearing, as the law stipulates, or has not been posted in the meeting agendas for the Board of Selectmen, then how are these donations being accounted for?
Is it just for the town?
Well,
This is for, the law, the RSA is acceptance of personal property donated to towns and villages.
so would the school be bound to the selectmen on this?
According to from what I'm saying, that's part of it right there. Number 3, no acceptance of personal property shall be bound to raise, appropriate, expend funds for operation, maintenance, repair, replacement of such personal property.
Then, let me take a.
Give me that RSA again.
It's 31:95-E.
E.
E. Yes, sir. I'm not denigrating the
I don't know if
volunteer and
we've
contributions.
accepted- Yeah.
Make that clear. I'm not putting that
Whenever
down.
we have a contribution, it has to be voted on by the board to accept it.
My question is, does the school, like with the ball field, everything happened with that ball field, does that have to go in front of the select board, or does the school board have the authority at that point?
Well, let me, let me be the full guy. Basically, we're talking about 3 possible projects. One, the project and the volunteer work and the vetting and the contributions and warrant article for the town playground at the beach is done. That leaves 2 projects, which would be the
I mean, the playground at the.
well, and I don't believe, considering when that happened, and this being the year 2016, that those things associated with the playground, I'm thinking of projects the town and or school have had,
Mhm.
which go over that $5,000 limit. I'm taking the playground out of the discussion
Okay.
because the
It's
year
come and gone.
that year ended
Okay.
2015, just for clarity.
Yep.
So we have 2. We have those contributions of materials for the addition to the town garage, which would
That was
be
what
the
initially
donation
prompted my,
of the floor, the donation of much of the interior trim lumber, which was personal from sawmill work done from Pat and his brother. We have contributions from Cameron and individual contributions of other windows from other people in the community. There will be in the video record Pat's comments to that effect, which I heard in the selectmen's meeting. So if that would be one. Secondly, there would be the school property, which is owned outright by the school district as a separate entity.
Mhm.
The school property can be sold off. We can, whatever. So the town does not have anything to do with 31:95E by definition. The school district, for what its regulations are, would do well to check with their own attorney, and similarly to make sure that all people who need to be thanked, all people who might be claiming a 501c3 donation are properly on record. Yeah, you're right. Stan got his hand up first.
How about the playground that's in Milton Mills? Aren't they developing one over in Milton Mills?
I don't know.
I thought Cameron.
Soccer field.
The soccer field.
Presently, the Milton Mills.
So back at the cemetery, right? Where
Yeah,
you have all that
the
land. I
Milton
don't think
Mills
it's started.
Cemetery Association is still the legal owner of that property. The town, for $1 a year, has purchased a right of interment so that it meets the criteria for a public cemetery for the town.
So are we saying that goes under the umbrella of the selectmen?
No,
I would say it does, because I would think that's,
it is
because the way it says villages and everything in there, I don't know, the
Right.
attorneys are gonna answer that question.
Right now, the Milton Mills Cemetery Association is, trust me, I was the trustee, is a private association which is seeking to become and give its entire property over to the selectmen, which event has not
Happened yet,
yet.
right? Yeah.
So it's a private deal. Going back to the school district, I think, thank you, Dennis, for bringing it up, because nobody wants to get zinged for doing the right thing. Fred Cameron has been extraordinarily generous of his time and the resources of Cameron. John Catwick has had his little yellow machine down there, and other things are happening. It's not nice to have a good public project get dinged because the I's and the T's got
Well, that's
reversed.
kind of my
Yeah.
concern, because
Yeah.
the illusion of impropriety is amazing.
Yeah.
When actually it's all well-intended, all good faith,
Yeah.
all volunteer, and I'm not saying anything other than that, but I'm saying the illusion of impropriety is amazing.
I think you have the attention of the town and school.
I think I do.
Lou.
I don't
Which was my
think this
point.
is a school thing, because this was brought by the recreation and others because Lockhart was gonna be closed, which is a public ball field, a town ball field. And that ball field is gonna be used by townspeople as well as school people.
Correct.
So, to just say that's up to the school, none of the volunteer work or anything has had anything to do with the school.
Well, let the attorneys answer that.
Yeah.
And
right-
what
right-
was
at-
that
at-
RSA,
Yes.
just so I
At
can
this
go
point,
down
it's a
there?
valid, I'm gonna-
31:95-E.
It's a valid question. It's a good one, and I'm gonna look into that, Dennis.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for doing
And
that.
I will
And
go
I don't really
to
think it's a
the,
budget committee question.
No, but
I will go tomorrow because,
Well, let's spend talking 20
Does that
minutes
mean
on
the
it.
school can't-
it's only been it's only been 5.
I mean, what
I
is-
watched the clock. Is the chair interrupts to bring the important question to the board. Is there anything else that any member wishes to bring from Tom?
Another, not to beat the dead horse anymore, but if we get it on record how much the contributions were for the ball field or whatever, and any contribution, somebody donating a monitor to the town hall. If it's destroyed, you've got a record of, hey, this is what the cost was. If you don't have record of that,
Yep.
the insurance may come back and say, where's your receipts for that, creating that ball field, $30,000? Well, there you go, when it actually was $100,000 created. Or, the monitor, we don't have a receipt for that monitor, so we're not gonna replace it. Another reason to.
My $100,000 Volkswagen burned, and it's all your fault. Yeah, prove it. Any other question from Lou?
I just, the townspeople have their own ball field committee that is not subject to really school. Mike, what are you thinking?
I am thinking that Mike put his finger on it when he said it's outside of the budget committee's purview, even though we like to have good things happen. Is there anything else? Bob?
There is a record of everything that's being spent on that field. All donations are in there. I think there's a letter posted up there. Every donation, all the money that's being spent is there. They have an itemized,
Mhm.
and I believe you can get this from the town clerk. I believe she's
Mhm.
holding on to it. So at any time you want to go see what was spent, up to date,
Mhm.
that's where you're going to find everything.
But I think
Do
the
I
problem,
take that
Bob,
as-
is the law reads it has to be
Yeah.
done prior to getting it.
Okay.
Do I
Oh,
take
wow.
that, do I take that you were making a motion to adjourn?
How much did we skip anyway?
We haven't skipped anything.
I will look into it, but I don't
Yeah,
think it's a school.
I
day.
agree with Stan. We'll have to look into it to see what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we need to know now.
And I will say, Bob, that I was up at the dump collect,
Yep.
just,
Yeah.
and Michelle wrote me out a receipt and said that it was collected from donations at the dump.
Yep.
So I do know it's being accounted for.
The chair must have someplace to go, so I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
You must have a TV
I'm still
program.
waiting for the Red Sox. Motion has been made, seconded to adjourn, made by Stan, seconded by Maureen. Anything else? Thank you for your time.
And thank you
Aye.
for this schedule, I really like
Yeah.
that. I
That-
can hang it up on the wall.
Is there something that I unblushingly
Yeah, I gotta go to the
missed?
We
message.
just voted.
You just voted. Okay,
Aye.
everybody,
Aye.
take this. Stand up and leave.
No,
Yeah.
Everything's
not
set in
yet.
stone except for the town. That's the only thing
I
that's
have a
not
feeling
set
it's in the
stone.
works, but I haven't
The rest
heard
of that,
nothing.
the
and
deliberative
that's fine,
session
too.
is
I kind of
Well, yeah, but I
happy
kinda
where
like
I am
being
right
able
at the
to
moment.
put it up on